Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bold and Beautiful. Today, Ivy leaks Will and Dylan's cheating scandal. Electra comes home to chaos. Ivy Forrester might spill the beans about Will Spencer and Dylan's cheating scandal. This could mean Electra Forrester comes home to a big mess. The week of January 26th to 30th is going to be crazy. Electra Forrester will find out that she will not be traveling to San Francisco with Ivy Forrester like she thought. Instead, Electra Forrester will be going on the trip with Steffy Forrester Finnegan. This is a change for Electra Forrester, and it is all happening because of the cheating scandal that Ivy Forrester might leak about Will Spencer and Dylan. Ivy is going to be in Los Angeles. She is worried about Dylan being alone with Will at his beach house. Ivy is concerned that Will might not be good for her niece. So Ivy might go to the beach house to check on Will and make sure he is being loyal to her niece. Ivy can help Electra too because Electra has her worries about Dylan. Electra might ask Ivy to keep an eye on Dylan and Will. This will make Electra feel better. If Ivy checks on Dylan and makes sure he is following the rules, then Electra will feel more at ease. Ivy going to the beach house will give Electra peace of mind about Dylan. The Bold and Beautiful spoilers say Ivy is going to see something that will surprise her when she goes to Will's house. She will look outside his window. See Dylan sitting on Will's lap. It will look like Dylan wants to kiss Will. Ivy will not know what is really going on because she will not see the whole story. Dylan will be wearing ballet shoes, so Will might say she can dance in his living room. This is what the Bold and Beautiful spoilers say will happen to Ivy when she sees Dylan and Will together. The Bold and Beautiful spoilers are saying that Ivy will not have all the facts when she sees this. Electra got really upset when Dylan shared food with Will, so she would not like this dance practice situation or. Dylan has to stay in her area and stay away from Will when Electra is not around. This means that even if Dylan did not mean to get too close to Will, she will still be going against what she promised by being in this situation. Dylan is going to trip and fall into Will's lap. It is not like she is doing it on purpose. The thing is, Dylan will end up in Will's lap. This is what will happen when she falls. Electra will not be happy about Dylan and Will being close. This is because of what happened when Dylan shared food with Will. Dylan and Will being close is not an idea, and this is why Dylan has to be careful during dance practice. Ivy is going to see the pair staring hard at each other. The question is, will they actually kiss? Ivy thinks something fishy is going on from this. She does not even have to see what happens next. When Ivy gets home from her trip, she will probably tell Electra about it. Electra will be really upset with Will when she finds out. Will Electra break up with Will because of this? Will Electra just tell Will to make Dylan leave? Will may try to explain it was a misunderstanding, but Electra presumably won't see it that way at all. It began with a secret that Ivy Logan had never meant to keep for such a time. She had been dealing with this secret for weeks now. Ivy Logan would think about it all the time, remembering the things she was not supposed to hear, like the quiet talking at night and the sneaky looks that Will and Dylan gave each other. Ivy Logan also saw texts on a phone that she was not supposed to see. Ivy Logan always thought of herself as someone who stayed away from all the stuff, especially after what happened to her at Forrester Creations. This secret was different for Ivy Logan. This was not just people talking about each other at the office or competing with one another. This was a betrayal that could actually tear families apart. The worst part of it all was that Electra had no idea what was going on with the betrayal. Will Spencer and Dylan had made up a lie. A big one. From the outside it seemed like everything was fine. Will was being a boyfriend and Dylan was being a good friend. He seemed like a person you could trust. When they were alone, they did things that they should not have done. They got too close to each other when they worked late at night. This closeness turned into something. They should have felt bad about what they were doing. They did not. Instead, they kept their secret hidden. They got used to telling lies. Will Spencer and Dylan told many lies that it became easy for them. The secrecy and lies helped them to keep their safe. Will Spencer and Dylan were good at hiding the truth. People thought Electra would never find out because people like Ivy were supposed to worry about their own stuff. Electra was not supposed to know what was going on. People like Ivy were not supposed to tell her. They just thought Electra would never find out. That is what made them feel safe about the whole thing with Electra. But Ivy couldn't anymore. The night Ivy saw Will and Dylan at Illinois Giardino was the night everything changed. They were sitting in a corner where it was hard to see. Their hands were touching. They were talking very quietly. They were standing close to each other. This was not something Ivy was just imagining. She knew what she saw. Will, Dylan were together. When Ivy thought about Elektra coming back to Los Angeles the day, she felt sick to her stomach. Ivy was really upset about Will and Dylan. She was worried about what would happen when Elektra got back to Los Angeles. Ivy's stomach was all tied up in knots because of Will and Dylan and what Elektra would think when she found out. Elektra was walking into a minefield. She felt hopeful and excited. The reason for this was that she was going to reunite with the man she trusted most. At that moment, Elektra was completely unaware that everything she believed in was already on fire. Elektra came home. She was so happy her suitcase was still by the door. She had plans for her life now. She talked about starting and making a new life with Will. Ivy was watching her. She felt really bad. Every time Elektra laughed, it hurt Ivy. When Elektra said things about being hopeful, it made Ivy feel even worse because she was not saying anything. Ivy wanted to tell Elektra something. She did not know when to do it. Elektra was talking about the future and Ivy knew that what she had to say would hurt Elektra much. There was no way for Ivy to tell Elektra what she needed to say. The moment finally came at Forrester Creations, where Forrester Creations has a way of letting secrets spread over the place. Ivy took Elektra to the side. Her face was really pale. Her hands were shaking a lot. Ivy did not think about what she was going to say. The words just came out of Ivy. They were honest and Ivy said what she really thought. Will, Dylan are not the people you think they are. They seem to be something entirely. I am talking about Will and Dylan. What I know about Will and Dylan is that they are not what they appear to be. Elektra laughed at first. This was a natural reaction. She did not really think it was funny. She was in shock. Ivy kept talking. She had to tell Elektra everything. She told her about the messages, the meetings, the time someone touched her and did not let go. Ivy had been scared to say all of this loud. As Ivy told her the story, Elektra stopped smiling. She looked confused, then she looked really scared, then she looked like she was falling apart. It felt like all the air was sucked out of the room as Elektra realized what was really going on with the messages and the meetings and everything that Ivy was saying about Elektra's situation, with the messages and the meetings. No, Elektra whispered. You are wrong. But Ivy wasn't. Elektra talked to Will that night. Her heart was beating fast and her voice was shaking, but she was not going to back down. She thought Will would say it was not true or get really mad. What happened was that Will did not say anything right away. For a second he looked away. You could see the guilt in his eyes. That said a lot more than any words could. Then Dylan showed up. He did not know that Ivy had finally started talking. The room was suddenly really loud and crazy. Accusations were made. The lies started to come. Then the truth came out. It was a mess and did not make sense. It was also very late. Will said it was a mistake. Dylan said it was complicated. Elektra did not listen to what they had to say. All Elektra could hear was her heart breaking. The accusations and lies and confession all affected Elektra, and Elektra felt sad because of the confession. Elektra was hurt by what Will and Dylan did. The hurt from the betrayal was really bad because it was not about being unfaithful. It was two people working together against her. Two people Ivy trusted had picked each other over Ivy times, and they did it on purpose. Ivy just stood there feeling very sad but also very determined. Ivy knew that she had just started a fight that would affect the Spencer family and the Forrester family in a big way. News travels quickly in Los Angeles because people always find out about secrets. Ridge was really mad that something bad was happening to the company again. Brooke felt terrible for Elektra. Katie wanted to know what was going on from Will. She did not want to protect him from getting in trouble. Even Eric said something. He said that when people betray each other it hurts everything, including love, the family name and trust in the company, like the trust in Forrester and the love between people and the legacy of people, like Eric and Ridge and Brooke and all the people who work at Forrester. Dylan tried to fix things, saying he was sorry, saying it was over. Elektra did not want to hear it. She packed up her stuff. Tears were running down her face. Every single thing she packed reminded her of the future they were supposed to have. Now she had to say goodbye to that. Will asked her to stay. He said sorry. He promised it did not mean anything. But sometimes when people hurt you, it does not just go away. It leaves a mark on you. Dylan and Electra were supposed to be, but now it seemed like that was not going to happen. Will. Dylan had messed up and Electra was very hurt. She was packing her things and Dylan was trying to make it right, but it was too late. Electra was. Dylan was left to think about what he had done to her. Ivy was having a time. People were saying she was causing problems. Some people were really grateful to Ivy for being brave and telling the truth. Ivy did not say anything back to these people. She did not have to. Ivy chose to be honest even if it meant she would not have friends anymore and would not be happy. As Electra walked out, stronger but shattered, one thing was clear. Nothing would ever be the same. Will was left facing the ruins of his choices. Dylan's reputation lay in tatters. And Ivy? Ivy stood alone, knowing that sometimes doing the right thing means standing in the wreckage after the explosion. The trouble did not end when Electra walked out that door. That was when the real trouble started. Los Angeles is a place that makes bad feelings worse. For Electra, every street and every building and every memory felt bad because of what happened. She felt like everything was ruined by people she trusted. Electra did not go far at first. She went to a hotel that looked out at the ocean. She hoped the sound of the water would help her forget what Will said and what Dylan did not say. Electra did not feel better right away. She still felt upset about Electra's situation with Will and Dylan. Her phone kept ringing and buzzing all the time. There were a lot of missed calls and messages saying sorry and trying to explain things. The messages were also making excuses for what happened. She did not answer any of them. The only thing she could do was stay quiet. Staying quiet was the way she could still be in control of her life and the situation, with her phone and all the calls and messages. Back at Forrester Creations, things got really cold. People were whispering about Will as he walked down the hall. They were looking at him like they did not like him at all. Katie was very angry with her son, even she was surprised at how angry she was. She wanted Will to be honest with her and not make excuses. She told Will that love is not something you play with and that hurting someone is not okay just because you are sorry you got caught. Will tried to explain what happened. He was not telling the whole truth and he was trying to make excuses. Katie did not want to hear it. She said to Will, "You hurt Electra and that is not okay." She said it in a very cold way. You made her feel really bad. You also made a fool of yourself. Dylan did not do any better. When he tried to make people think better of him, it only made things worse for him. Dylan told his friends that the situation was mutual and complicated, something that happened because he was vulnerable and under a lot of pressure. But the more Dylan talked about it, the clearer it became that Dylan was trying to avoid taking responsibility for his actions. Rich talked to Dylan directly, warned him that Forrester Creations does not tolerate people causing trouble and saying it is romance. Rich said to Dylan, Forrester Creations has dealt with people. Then Dylan, do not think that Forrester Creations will protect Dylan. And then there was Ivy. Ivy Logan was at the center of all the drama now. Some people at work did not want to be around her because they were not comfortable with what she had said. Other people would talk to her in private and thank her for being brave enough to say what nobody else would say. Ivy Logan felt really bad about what was happening. She did not want to be a hero or a bad person. She just wanted Electra to know the truth before it hurt her badly. Ivy Logan still felt guilty about everything. She kept thinking about Electra's face, wondering if she had told her at a time would it have hurt her less. She thought about waiting to tell Electra. Deep down she knew what the answer was. She knew that no matter when she told Electra, it was still going to hurt her. Electra finally spoke up when she showed up at Forrester out of the blue, feeling calm but really sure of herself. People looked up as she walked in. She was standing up straight and her eyes looked really tough because of what had happened. She wanted to talk to Ivy. The air was full of tension. Between them there were a lot of things they were not saying. For a second Ivy thought Electra was going to be angry, that she would blame her. But Electra did something. Electra said thank you in a voice. Ivy blinked. She was really stunned. The truth that Electra told her was very painful. Electra said that not telling the truth would have been even more painful in the long run. Ivy was not okay. She was still hurting. She did not want to pretend that everything was fine anymore. What happened then made Ivy and Electra become close, and this happened because they were being honest with each other, not because they were competing with each other. Will wasn't so lucky. When Electra finally decided to talk to him, it was not because she wanted to get over things. It was because she wanted to understand things. She heard him say sorry again, his voice shaking, his words sounding like he really needed her to forgive him. Now she could see what was really going on. She did not trust him anymore. Instead, she was very aware of what kind of person he was when he was tempted to do something bad. Electra said to him in a voice, "You did not do one bad thing by mistake," she said. "You made a decision to do something. You kept making that same decision over and over with Electra." Those words really hurt Will. He was holding on to some hope. Now it is all gone. Will figured out that asking for mercy was not going to make a difference. The consequences of his actions had finally caught up with him. The consequences were not going away anytime soon. The consequences were going to stay and make things difficult for Will. Dylan was all alone now. The people who used to be on his side did not want to be friends with him. They did not want to get hurt because of the trouble he was in. This trouble just kept getting bigger and bigger. The more Dylan tried to explain what he did, the more people stayed away from him. For the time, Dylan had to think about something he did not want to think about. He was not a person who had bad things happen to him. Dylan was the one who made bad things happen to himself. Just when everyone thought things could not get any worse, something else happened that made everything even more crazy. The chaos had gotten really bad. Then something new came along and made it even worse. This new thing was like another bomb dropping. It was a shock. A message that was not supposed to be seen got out on the internet. It was a screenshot from a while back and it had a time on it, so you knew when it happened. The things that Will and Dylan said about Electra were really mean. They made fun of how she trusted them and joked about how easy it was to trick her. This was very upsetting to people who already knew what was going on. Brooke was really upset. Katie was extremely angry. Ridge wanted to find out who shared the messages, so he said they should look into it inside the company. But it was too late, the harm was already done. Electra saw the screenshots at night all by herself, and this time Electra did not cry. Something inside of Electra became stronger. The hurt Electra felt turned into an understanding of what happened. Electra was not just hurt by what someone did. Electra felt like she had been treated badly. When Electra realized that, it changed the way Electra thought about everything. The morning she did something that really surprised everyone. She made a decision that shocked everyone, the people around her. It was a big deal. The decision she made was very surprising. It shocked everyone. Electra said she was going to leave Los Angeles. She did not want to run from things. She wanted to find herself. Electra got a job offer in another country. This was something she had said no before because of Will. Now Electra was happy to take it. Everyone understood what this meant. Electra was not going to hide. Electra was going to be a person. Ivy helped her pack. They did not say a lot. What they did say was important. Electra said she was not sure what she was going to do. She knew one thing. She was not going to make herself small, for Electra's own sake, just to please someone who did not deserve Electra's loyalty. As Electra boarded the plane, Will watched from afar, realizing too late that some endings don't come with second chances. Dylan wasn't there at all, already consumed by his own unraveling.